I did nothing.
Oh,
Hello there,
fuck.
and welcome to the
Why does
Last
it go
Arc
behind my
News
ears? Why
Coup
does it take
special
forever?
interview.
I can't hear you when my headset's not on. So I'm gonna
We're
keep
live,
talking over you
Cody.
because
Hey!
honestly, I don't even know if you guys are talking. I'm just gonna
We're
keep doing it.
live,
And
bro.
I'm sorry, but that's just the way life is. So I'm here talking while my headset's off, getting myself
Hey, we
situated.
went
And
live
now,
like 10 seconds ago.
I
hi,
was in
we are
the.
live with the Last Arc YouTube channel. It's me, Cody, getting ready for this interview. I took hold of the show from the gate, and that's what you're never gonna expect. I'm always keeping you on your toes. Lucas, take us away with the intro.
Thank you very much, Cody. Hello there. Once again, like I was saying, I am Straw Hat Lucas, helmsman of the Last Ark. I'm joined by our cyborg man himself, Fritz the Ditz, as we interview SSJ8Cody, Twitch superstar and One Piece extraordinaire. My man is an anime fanatic. He does some gaming, but as he points out, he is not a gamer. He's just a guy who plays games. Cody, would you like to say anything before we get started?
Hi, I'm Cody. I'm trying to find the chat, but the Last Arc YouTube channel is not popping up.
Yeah, that happens sometimes.
The
How
Last
we
Arc
doing today,
Live.
chat?
Oh, here we go.
Oh, I see my boy Smokey in the chat. Captain
Oh,
Smokey.
Smokey in the chat. Cody 10, what up? Dan, OMG, it's everybody.
Woo! Everybody is
And then
here. Dan the Dastard is here. We are golden. We are golden. We're going to let
what do
chat
I
kind of collect up a little bit before we get things rolling with the interview. How we doing today, chat? We got Josh in the chat. We got Dan in the chat. We got Captain Smokey in the chat.
We are feeling good over here. Look
We
at
are
this.
feeling good over
This
here.
coup is looking great. Look at this.
That's crisp. I'm not bleeding through like I usually am, so that's always a plus.
We
All
are
right,
marked
I've got all
safe
the links
inside of our
posted
studio while everybody's being destroyed in the One Piece world.
Cody gang, Lucas gang, Fritz gang, Cody gang, Lucas gang, Fritz gang, Let's go. 3-day trip in the chat. All right. We have a couple people in here now, so are you ready to get started, SSJ8 Cody?
Yes, I'm always down to clown.
So, Mr. Cody, tell us a little bit about yourself. So, like, just some personal information that you're willing to share online. Obviously, you don't have to go too deep, but like, what's something you do for fun? What do you do for a living? That kind of thing. Like I said, you don't have to go too personal.
Hi, I'm Cody. I'm 27. I have been watching One Piece. I've been reading One Piece weekly now for over 14 years, which is crazy to think about. In my free time when I'm not watching One Piece obsessively or any anime, I like to go longboarding. I like to go running. I like to run in 5Ks, 10Ks, and half marathons. Um, Long distance running is my passion, even though I smoke more than a chimney. It's just I just love doing it. I run for an hour every day in the morning, and if there's something local going on, I'll just throw my name in it because I don't know. It's just fun to get out and meet people that way. I like going longboarding because I get to see cool scenery. I worked at Walmart. Well, yeah, I worked at Walmart for a long, long time before I realized I hated it. So I quit that and I started going back to school full time. And I'm going back for my bachelor's in advertising and marketing. So that's cool.
Nice.
That's
And I've
wonderful,
got
my
2 years left on that. And then I am done. And then
See,
I'll
I
be a
thought
real adult, I guess.
yes, I thought I saw something on TikTok about you being a lineman.
A lineman.
Yeah, I thought you had like on a tool belt and you were about to climb like a power pole or something. I was like, man, Cody's a lineman?
Oh, that was for a college thing, and they were letting us see if we could climb all the way up to the top of the pole, and everyone was talking a lot of big smack, and I said, "Oh no, I'll do it. I watch Naruto," and that's when I made the TikTok saying, "Remember, kids, when you're climbing poles, put your chakra in your feet." And then
Yeah,
I went up
that's what I'm
there,
talking about.
and
Yeah,
then I
I
went.
saw that. Did you end up climbing
I
that pole?
remember. Yeah, I did. I got halfway before I looked down, and I said, "I'm gonna go to the top. Do you want me to stop?" And the old guy looked at me, and he was like, "Don't fall," and then he kept watching me.
So,
And it,
uh, to relate on that, I do like the heights and stuff, the climbing. I can appreciate that. I really like that. I used to climb about 145-foot towers, legs. And I totally feel that. So anybody who's climbing poles like that, man, you gotta work that pole, bro.
You gotta work that
You
pole.
really do.
Just like a stripper on a Tuesday night, you gotta work that pole, people.
It's all about knowing how to work your gravity, and as long as you can keep yourself moving forward and you can keep that momentum, it I don't know. I've been climbing
Oh,
stuff a lot.
we've been dubbed by our good man Captain Smokey the three admirals of Chadness. I can see that.
Oh, the
I don't have
Chadmirals.
the Chadmirals. Yes, we are the Chadmirals now. So, oh my God, I smell a podcast cooking. Um, all right. Now there is something kind of personal I do want to ask you about. You said that you take care of your mother. Right? She's had some medical illnesses. Is she doing any better?
Oh yeah, no. She has an appointment coming up, and then we'll figure out if her foot's broken or not. But
Hmm.
as of right now, right now we're in between a rock and a hard place. She needs a total knee replacement surgery, and right now she's too overweight to get it. But the more overweight
Hmm.
she is, the more it hurts her. But she can't lose the weight without it hurting her knee. But she needs to lose the weight to get the knee replacement. So it's like,
Yeah. Of
and
course. Yeah.
she's had gastric bypass, so it's just we're just it's fun. It's a real
Yeah.
fun time.
I can tell by the way you're talking about. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, my man. I really hope the best for her. And I can tell you are a very devoted and loving son, and that's always something beautiful to see. All right, now we're going to move past some of these heavy subjects, Chad. I'm sorry. I wanted to open this up a little bit more personal. 3-day trip says get well soon to your mother. Uh, what was your first ever anime? Oh, look at that face.
It has to be Pokemon. I'm pretty sure I was a part of the Pokemon craze. I remember I had a Pokemon bike when I was 4 years old with Poliwhirl and like all of Ash's, Brock's, and Misty's teams like on that little bike with my training wheels. I had a Pokemon themed birthday. Like I'm pretty sure if I remember, it has to be Pokemon was my first one.
Hmm. Dan the Dastard in the chat says, dude, my dad just went to the doctor to see if his foot broken like an hour ago, so he hopes your mother gets well soon. And you guys can see Dan the Dastard on Group 10, Cody's Twitch, on Thursdays at twitch.tv/SSJ8Cody, but we will get into that later. See, I always love asking people that question because most people say Pokemon, especially the American audiences, because I remember the Pokemon craze vividly. Like, I was born in 92, so I was like right at that age when it came out in America where it was like exploding. I was in like second grade, and I remember having a backpack full of Pokemon stickers, and I cried in school because somebody stole the Goldeen sticker off my backpack. Goldeen's a worthless Pokemon now, but like back then, that was my tank. You get a Sea King with Horn Drill, you're golden. All right, so what got you into One Piece, my man?
What got me into One Piece? I was just how do I explain it? I was impatient, I guess. I was already reading Naruto weekly at the time, and I'd binged through Bleach, and I remember that I was just like, man, I need something else. And one of the neighborhood kids had been talking about this pirate thing. And I was like, oh, I remember watching One Piece. That's the one where Sanji was the lollipop. And he's like, no. And he shook me and he said, you're going to take this and you're going to go read it on this website and you're going to read it. And I said, okay. And so I would have been like 13 at the time. But like I had binged through One Piece very, very quickly. And reading it, I just remember like texting my friend on my fucking Nokia. Oh, there went the. I swear it is it. What are the
It don't
swearing
fucking matter, man. You're
parameters?
good.
Woofda.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. No. I remember texting him on my Nokia, just being like, "Yo, dude, why are they not showing his bounty off the correct way?" At like Skypiea was one of my favorite arcs. I remember, or was that Jaya? Yeah. I remember it was just me wanting to talk to another person and having a friend who had an interest in anime, and it upset me that I couldn't compare it without watching it. So I think like wanting to just justify my like love for other series was why I started it.
Oh yeah. So when did you catch up exactly? Like 2 weekly?
Um, Luffy got to the bottom of the jail in Impel Down.
Ooh, ooh. So since you caught up in Impel Down, what was it like reading Marine Ford weekly?
Oh, that would have been like, that's over 10 years ago for me. I
I know.
remember logging into my computer, and I remember spoilers ahead for Marineford, but me and a bunch of my buddies were all talking like as we were reading it and saying, "Yo, dude, it's gonna be fine because Whitebeard's introduced and Ace can't be lost because Ace has ties to the MC. So if we can't lose Ace, we're probably gonna lose Whitebeard, and that's gonna be like the loss of this arc because there had to be some payoff for doing this." And I don't think I've ever cried harder and had like a more like what the fuck on what the fuck on what the fuck. Like you guys don't realize Marineford what it was. It wasn't just Ace dying and Whitebeard dying. It was Blackbeard pulled up. And not only did Blackbeard pull up, Shanks pulled up. We heard Shanks and Kaido dude were fighting. No, Shanks stopped out of nowhere. Like I just remember like freaking out with my friend, running to the playground. Like we all lived in like this very small 1,000-person town.
Yeah.
So we all lived within like a couple miles of each other. And I just remember like after the chapter would drop, we all had like a playground that was within 3 miles of each of us. And we would sprint to get there like within 10 minutes and be like, we gotta talk about this. I can't believe Shaq showed up. Is he
Like
gonna fight? It was just, I just remember it being insanely hype and crazy. And being there was like, I'm very fortunate to be thankful that I caught up in time when I did. It's like almost like when I caught up with Berserk. I caught up with Berserk almost like 3 chapters before Mura passed. So I got to be able to experience like,
that whole
I'm very
sacrifice
thankful.
for Griffith's
Yeah, and being
rebirth
able to
right there.
experience like
Ooh.
the single tier like as his final
Oh.
chapter literally like sent me like into a depression for like a day. Like I I'm very fortunate with manga and how I've been able to read it. And like
Yes.
That gave me
whenever I
those
find
running to the playground gave me major vibes of getting off the bus and running to the house as fast as I could to catch Dragon Ball Z when it was on, even if it was a repeat.
not gonna lie, okay, when I think I would have been like 10 or 11, my mom kept trying to get me to like interact with the other kids in my classes, but all they would do was sit in front of a TV, kid you not, watch MTV. I had like one other kid who liked anime, but like he would only watch like Saint Seiya and Bakugan, and I was like, I'm all right.
Yeah, I'm okay
I don't
on
want to
that.
watch. I don't want to watch that.
I have a
So
question
I
for you
would,
then. Go
yeah.
continue, but I got one after this.
All right. So I remember that she signed me up for this little after school art class, but it cut into Pokemon Adventure because
Ooh.
Pokemon Adventure started at 4 o'clock and school got out at 3. And this whole thing was supposed to start, and I couldn't get home in time for Pokemon Adventure. So I remember rushing the art project. And the teachers would be all like, "Oh, don't you want the kids to review you?" And they're gonna tell me it sucks. I don't care what they think. Bye. And I would sprint back home because I was like, dog, I gotta see if Ash is May are gonna get to these freaking it was Ash, May, Max, and Brock. That was my jam. And
Oh yeah,
Torkoal.
dude.
Torkoal was a really cool Pokemon. I remember liking him.
The Hoenn days, man, they were just golden.
So, at a young age, what was your first or favorite mature rated anime that you got into? And I'm gonna start you off and saying Princess Mononoke was the first major mature blood crazy derivative story that I got into when I was young.
I remember being into Dragon Ball Z and Yu Yu Hakusho, but
Mm.
if we're gonna talk about like at the earliest age I would have been exposed to a mature rated anime, my aunt is to blame for getting me into Inuyasha because she owns
Mm.
all of the box sets, movies, and everything on DVD. And I remember like crawling around like when we would stay over at their houses because we would stay at the house for a weekend over on the weekends and watch Naruto on Toonami. And I remember keep trying to stay up late and try to watch them like watch Inuyasha and trying to get my parents into anime, which they are anime fans now, thankfully. But
Thankfully.
Um, Inuyasha was like something I had to like go out of my way to try to find, and I remember like just like the lengths I would jump through and hoops I would go through to just try to find this name of this anime because I remember watching like this man with a giant sword and like ripping blood and guts everywhere on the TV, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's so oh. So I remember I went to the TV guide, scrolled through, and I was like, oh, that's Cowboy Bebop. So went back to my house and I did my little thing and I stayed up late and I was like, here it comes Cowboy Bebop. Cowboy Bebop comes on and I'm like, this is not the man with the giant sword.
Did you still watch
Then
Cowboy Bebop though? Because
I saw May Valentine. Hey, Faye. I saw Faye and I was like, hey, this is not the big sword, but I can get down with this.
but there's something else that's big about May. No.
What are you?
What are you insinuating here,
trying.
Lucas?
What
No.
are you insinuating?
So I have a question for you from 3-Day Trips. Since you caught up during Marine 4, do you feel like Shanks let Ace die on purpose, or was he just late?
I feel like I feel like Kaido only respected Shanks after Shanks did what he did to stop him from going to Marineford. So I
Yeah.
feel like Kaido played a more pivotal role, and I feel like we'll see more of that later on revealed in Shanks's backstory as we get it.
See, I think that too, because I often forget that the reason Shanks did not show up to Marineford was because of his battle with Kaido. I space on that so much, and then when people bring it up to me, I remember it. I'm like, oh yeah, he was fighting Kaido. How did he get
Yeah,
from Wano to fucking Marineford though that quickly? Is my question.
Plot armor.
Plot armor.
Well, I mean, I think it's that maybe Shanks intercepted Kaido on the sea, and my theory is that Kaido heard that Whitebeard, the strongest man alive, was going out to go to the Marines to go fight for his son, and Kaido probably would have said, "Whoa, no, 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 it's what a waste. He should die fighting me and test his strength against me." And so Kaido would have said, "Fuck that. You're not dying to the Marines. You're dying to me." And Shanks would have said, "No. Whitebeard wants to go save his son. I'm not going to let that happen." And that's why he goes to. And that's my headcanon. Is I
Yeah,
think
I agree.
Kaido wanted to fight Whitebeard and have Whitebeard die to him instead of the Marines.
Yeah, because Kaido was always looking for the next great challenger. Oh, Grand Line Bound, you want to hear a great Kaido laugh?
I don't know if I peaked. Sorry.
No, you're good. So, another question. This one from Din Din Cushy. What One Piece is better? Like, what's the better way to consume it? The anime or the manga?
The manga. I do not appreciate Toei animations.
Yes, I agree. Especially during the Dressrosa arc. I actually just warned Fritz the other day. I was like, "Look, man, you might drop the anime and go to the manga completely once you hit Dressrosa and experience that pacing."
I have an anime series, a manga series, near and dear to my heart. This manga series is in my top 10 of all time. It's called Toriko. The
Oh,
anime
yes.
adaptation, what they've done to Toriko is what happened to Berserk 2016. I love the art in Toriko. I love the story. I love the big goofy powers and how it's just big buff men beating each other up because they like yummy food. The anime just like censored it needlessly and they added in a filler character. No, not an arc, a whole
A
character.
character?
There's a character in the anime that just doesn't exist in the manga, and she gets episodes and like whole like plot points developed like dedicated to. It gets me heated. Toei Animations ruined one of my favorite things in the world.
Ooh,
And I
deep.
remember like watching the anime, and I just suffered through it, not knowing the manga existed. Like, and I was okay with Toriko. I thought big strong men in this big goofy world was enough to keep me captivated, and just that enough made me suffer through the anime. Going back through and rereading the manga, oh my god, it's
So much
just
better.
amazing. It's literally in my top 10. I
That's
Toei
I
Animations, I'll never forgive you.
I've been meaning to read Toriko because I've seen that episode, the crossover epis or whatever it's called between One Piece, Dragon Ball, and Toriko, and I was very interested because it's all like food-based powers and stuff like that. So I really want to get into it. I have another question from Dindin Kushu before we move on. If you were stuck on Long Ring, Long Land, but you could bring one character with you, who would you pick?
If I could bring any One Piece character,
Yes.
they got to be canon though, right? I can't just like make one up.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's upsetting. I was gonna say William from One Piece D&D, Rustage's thing, the captain of the Devil's Luck Pirates, because he has a devil fruit.
We'll give you that one plus a cannon.
Yeah, we'll give you William plus a canon character.
Oh, I would take William immediately, and then if I had to take another character, then I would take who would William get along with most? It would be so funny. I want to see William and Jewelry Bonnie because I think
Bonnie is mommy.
I think she's really pretty.
That's it, just really pretty. She's mommy, let's be real. DQ from Group 10 also said the anime Davy backfight. I agree. That's weird because we were just talking about Long Ring, Long Land, and they added like 3 extra games to that.
But do you remember Sanji and Zoro's moment animated? Like, that's so cool with they getting
so
Groggy
good.
Ball.
They go fire on that fight.
And that Broggy Ball fight, that's so good, man. Oh, goodness.
Makes the Giants look like wimps.
Plus, we can't forget the form that is Luffy's strongest, Afro Luffy.
Afro Luffy, yeah. Afro Piece is real. Shout out to Dax Saki. Afro Piece is real. So, any spicy One Piece takes you want to give us?
Spicy One Piece takes.
Yeah, like, for example, my spiciest One Piece take is that I truly believe that Scopper Gaban is going to turn out to be Big News Morgan. There's no evidence for it, but I believe it.
Oh, spicy One Piece takes. I'm trying to think of something that like people haven't heard already. I think like I agree that the bigot. I want to give a really good spicy one for y'all.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of it. I guess that Big Mom and Kaido aren't dead. That's a big one. I really don't think it. It's like I think it's literally Oda looking at us from the manga and saying, "Yes, she's lost this fight, but like do not think I'm dead. Don't think this is gonna stop me." And I think the fact that like Kaido and Big Mom are somehow gonna survive through magma is gonna be more impressive because Akainu is made of magma. As maybe he's gonna like have some feat to that. Because if magma can just take them out, that only adds to like Akainu's feats like crazily. Because that means magma is way more powerful in the One Piece verse than it should be.
Mm-hmm. I like that. You had one that me and you kind of like spitballed over TikTok one time, and I'll never forget it. And it was that Blackbeard will take Luffy's fruit towards the end of the series, and because of that, that's why Law will have to use his immortality operation on Luffy so he doesn't die from Blackbeard taking his fruit.
That'd be wild.
Yeah, that just blew Fritz's mind. He moved his whole body when I said that.
So like that theory eventually, I was saying that Blackbeard will eventually take Luffy's fruit because narratively, like I think the darkest nights can make the stars shine brightest.
Yeah.
So when Blackbeard casts that darkness that he eventually will over our MC, I think it's Blackbeard who's eventually going to be that unknown like player. He always is. Like he showed up at Marineford, whoa, crazy. And then now he's a Yonko, whoa, crazy.
Crazy, yeah.
And he like, I think he mid-dipped Law. We saw him breathe in. He was panting. He had some blood. But Law's whole crew was fucked up. Like, there's no denying it. And after we see what he did to Big Mom in the anime and how it all looks and how he's, like, fighting and performing, to think that Law lost to Blackbeard is, like, what?
I know. And then Beppo bumping out with the... Hold on one second. Beppo bumping out with the Sulong form? Oh, my God. Hold on. Shout out to Threevil in the chat. What is up,
Whoa,
my man?
Threevil!
Win stream indeed. Everyone remember, too, to like the stream. Also, we're going to talk about who was cast as Down D Stairs in the live action later. Anyway, I heard it's the stairs from Breaking Bad. So we have some questions from the last arc that they want me to ask you.
Go ahead.
What height would you want to be in the One Piece world?
I'd want to be 8'4".
8'4", beautiful height.
These are just some general.
What position would you want to have on a crew in the One Piece world?
What position? I don't want to be the musician. I'd want to be like the guy who goes and performs karaoke for the crew and like just sings of our tales and wins in battles and like writes little raps and shit because I'll be a rap star one day.
Yes, you will. Yes, you will. All right. And what's your favorite fruit?
Oh, shit. It's a non-canon one. It's Williams from One Piece D&D. The roulette fruit.
I knew where you were going, man.
I cannot stress to you how much fun that made to listen to that D&D podcast.
You made me review that. That was one of the first. Actually, it's one of the only non-canon devil fruits I've ever ranked. Was the roulette no mi. Because the only one that it would be useful with is the revive fruit. But other than that, it can mimic every fruit perfectly, which is wild. And then what's the worst devil fruit in the series? Oh god, I just had flashbacks of the jacket.
It's not the jacket fruit. It is not. Dude,
I've been haunted by the jacket fruit. Okay, everyone suggested to me. I've ranked it already, and everybody's still like, do the jacket. Do the jacket. Do the jacket. And I do not want to talk about the jacket anymore. Yes, I gave it a boost because it does give possession with the control of whoever wears the jacket's body. But still, I feel like it's one of the most useless fruits in the whole series. But I want to see it again. I want to see it in a way.
The tun fruit
is
one of the most useless because you just get heavy. And I mean, like, yeah, that can be useful in some ways, but like, what's that? Like, one of them has a weight and one of them makes you heavy. The heavy one's good.
The kilo
heavy
makes
you
good. Weight more, and then the tun fruit gives you weight, I think, or something like that. They're basically one's a more advanced version of the other.
I think, yeah, the heavy one that makes you heavy is good because then you can control when you're heavy or light or control just how heavy you are. One of them just makes you, like, weigh, like, a specific weight, and I'm like, okay, that's dumb.
That's like, the tun. Yeah, the tun makes you weigh a ton.
Fuck the tun fruit. That's stupid. I like the jacket fruit. I swing hard for it. I think one day it's gonna come back and somebody's gonna forcefully take another person's body, and Oda's gonna be all like, "Yeah, who wants to say a weak fruit now?"
Yeah, right. Like, Kelly Funk's just gonna show up and encompass LOL and be like, "Room shambles."
Do we all didn't think the Kelly Funk brothers were good people. Like, they're gonna turn out to be villains at some point and figure out how to use that fruit for evil.
# Funk Brothers for the 11th Titanic captains. Let's go. You're like, I don't know about that.
I have a theory that it's someone else.
Oh, actually, I would love to hear this before I go on. Yes. What is this theory? Who do you think it'll be?
I think it could be like maybe another corpse that Moria controls. I think Moria might have the potential to be a captain.
Ooh, I do too, actually. I want to see him get a hold of Oars Jr. He was at Marineford with the body.
My theory is that Kuzan has frozen Garp to keep him alive as a bargaining chip with Blackbeard, and Moria is going to realize that with Garp still alive, he can manipulate Garp's shadow, and maybe that Moria will try to use that shadow to make something crazy with all the slain bodies that were there. Maybe Wang Zhi's body or even Rox's corpse is there for some reason, and we could throw Garp's shadow in there so that we have a limited Garp and like a crazy strong body.
That's a fire spice right there.
That is some spicy spice right there, man. I like that a lot. Ooh, I'm really excited to see what happens with Garp, especially after that last chapter. That last chapter, when I was reviewing it, actually, Fritz over here was like, man, I think I just need to start reading the manga so I can catch up faster.
Can we be real that like Oda put My Dream into One Piece because Kobe pulled off a Fist of Love by Aaron
Yeah, he did.
Mustang. That was
Yeah, he did.
that was Aaron Mustang's moment. Yeah, My Dream's in One Piece, but Kobe did it. That should have been Aaron Mustang.
Should have been Aaron Mustang saying, "Honesty, impact, and bam."
Never forget what we lost.
Nah, man.
Never forget what we lost.
The dream for Aaron Mustang was after like he makes his decision for what justice would be. I wanted his like upgraded Fist of Love to become his own Fist of Justice, and like depending on like if he thought what justice was, it would be like red or blue hockey, depending on if he's good or bad or something. But
got that hour-long blue hockey.
I want that Dio Brando hockey.
Yeah, that Dio Brando hockey. Let's Miguel and Dastard. Let's be real here. We don't shit on treble on this channel. We all love treble.
Don't be. Make food is not mean. Don't
too
be.
close, but you like it.
Okay.
Now, what's a theory that you 100% subscribe to?
Do you remember when Hiruluk went out to the west to go see the Sakura blossoms?
Yes, I do.
And he told Dr. Kureha that they told a story that a certain man stole something from their nation, a certain sacred treasure.
Oh,
I believe that the man who stole that sacred treasure from that land in the west was Shanks, and that what Shanks stole was the Nika fruit.
Ooh.
Or maybe, yeah.
Well, actually, hold on, though, because we do know that the Nika fruit was taken from the Marines, so maybe the Marines stole it and then Shanks stole it. Because I always thought when they were talking about that maybe Hiruluk, at first I thought he may have stolen, is it Kaitetsu? Zoro's sword that he gets in Thriller Bark? It's not Kaitetsu, is it?
He gets the Sandai Kitetsu.
Yeah, yeah, okay. So, yeah, I was thinking that maybe that's what Hiruluk was talking about that was being stolen. Maybe Moria was there around the same time when he was fighting Kaido and stole...
Oh, and Moria stole the body.
Okay. Yeah, and stole the Kitetsu. So that's what Hiruluk was talking about. But I like that. I know I said we wouldn't talk too much about the live action, but they actually dropped a picture of the Gumu Gumu no Mi, and it has the Marine's crest on the chest. So, like, I like that a lot. Anyway, yes.
And then the other theory I have is that in the one I subscribe to 100%, I'm ready to be called wrong if I am wrong, but we saw the Figureland outlines when we were talking about the Holy Knights, and dragons showed those silhouettes. And we see the one with the cutlass, and I am 100% that cutlass is Ace. No, not the character, Roger's sword. I think there's no way that the pirates took captive of Roger and didn't take that weapon somewhere and didn't use it as a trophy to say, hey, we killed the Pirate King. Look at my new saber. That's Ace with the Figurelands. That cutlass is Ace 100%. And I can't wait for it to be revealed to be like an Owazamono or something.
Oh, yeah, I see that. I could see that entirely, my man. Especially because there's that one silhouette, and we all knew it was a relative of Shanks, and everyone thinks it was Garland, but I still think it might be Shanks' brother, or something of that effect. So maybe that's the one that has Ace, the cutlass, not the person. Obviously, he's dead. He'd be just carrying around a ghost.
Because we know that Shanks' sword is called Griffin, so obviously Roger didn't gift Ace to Shanks, and he gave him like the straw hat. That's cool, but like I've always been wondering, man, Roger's sword was imbued with so much hockey. He clashed with Whitebeard, and with the reveal in the data cards that Whitebeard's Naginata is an Owazamono grade, one of those legendary weapons.
Yeah,
Ace has to be up there, and they would have used it as like a treasure, as saying, hey, we killed the Pirate King. This is, I think it's so obvious that would have to be Ace, Roger's weapon.
Yeah, I agree. It's like a trophy of morbid, like serial killers. They take trophies from their victims, kind of. Like, same type of, I like that a lot. I think the theory that I 100% subscribe to, and shout out to Cube of the Red Sea and Din Din Cushy, our lovely, lovely captains at the last arc. Me and them were in a voice chat yesterday talking about Frankie and his bounty posters. We all kind of believe this theory that Frankie's family is somewhere in the government, and they're covering up Frankie's bounty posters and using the ship and the Iron Frankie to kind of hide his face so that they can protect it. And I really subscribe to that because I think we're going to get a spicy, spicy Frankie lore drop soon about his family.
Yeah, Frankie's family, his mom and dad abandoned him because they were pirates. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
well-
they could definitely easily come back into the story.
Well, if you notice, when they dropped him off in that flashback, the ship eerily resembles a mad ship. Eerily. So I think he's
Well,
connected
I
to
remem-
Vegapunk in some way.
When we look at Odin's journal, Odin's flashback, and he says, "Hey kid, why don't you come join up with us and Roger? We already got a couple kids here." Frankie says, "No way. My parents were pirates and they abandoned me. Why would I join up with pirates again? I hate
Yeah.
pirates."
Yeah.
So Frankie's parents being alive, definitely being pirates, would they have been named? Would they know of Brooks' escapades? My biggest question in the One Piece verse is what is up with Brooks' kingdom and what is up with his swordsmanship? Like, we already know that he
Ooh.
was with the Rumblar pirates and everything. Very cool. What is up with Brooks' kingdom? He was like a general, and he knew this humming style and stuff. Like, this is all Brooks' own swordsmanship. He was a really cool swordsman for this army, and nobody talks about this kingdom he served. I want to know more about Brooks' backstory. This man is killing me. Yo!
Yo! Yes, I love Brooks so much. I want to, yeah, because his sword style too is so unique, and it kind of mirrors Zoro's sword style because Zoro uses the paths of hell, or gates of hell, and it's fire on his blades when he does it. But then Brook uses the chillingness of hell, and it's ice that comes off of his blade. So it's a very good parallel with Zoro's sword style, too. So I want to know more about that. Yeah, that's a good one, man. I've not really thought too much about that, but now you got my gears turning completely. I have another question from Din Din Cushy, and since we were just talking about Wano, do you think Wano as a whole was good?
Yes, I do. I do.
See, I caught up at the end of Wano in the manga, right before Shanks showed up, and I couldn't imagine reading some of that week to week. I won't lie. I loved the whole arc, as a whole. Reading it as a whole is amazing, but some of it I was like, if I would have got this chapter, I would have been pissed.
And as a favor and as a thanks to these questions as well, from the group and from Hyde, well, what would you rate Hyde as on a scale of 9 to 10?
Yeah, what would you rank Din Din Cushy? Scale of 1 through 10.
No, 9.
No, 9 to 10. My bad.
10. I love Hyde. Every time he talks, it's amazing. I love hearing his juicy voice.
Din Din, you just got some high praise. He also wants to know, when the hell are you going to take over YouTube, my man?
YouTube's crazy. How does one do YouTube? I just
You're
do
preaching
this
to the choir.
to have fun.
Yeah, you're preaching to the choir, my guy.
Is there not a community that isn't just overthrown with so much and too much, really?
Yeah, right. Dastard, 10
I'm
out of
just-
10.
I'm just a guy who gets really passionate, and all my friends tell me that I should share this passion with the world. So I just
And
been
you
putting
should,
it out
man.
on TikTok.
You should, because you have such an amazing presence. It's almost like you have the colors of a king. And when you step into the
No.
room, yeah, you give off that Shanks
I'm like
vibe,
a buggy.
Man.
No,
Oh, yeah,
you-
I can see that too, actually.
in this moment, and the chat doesn't realize it, you pull a lot of chopper where you can't take compliments.
Yeah, yeah,
very
you
well.
do.
Yeah, no.
That's amazing. Oh, all right. So let's talk about American animation just for a little bit. Get off the One Piece for just a moment. You're a huge fan of American animation, just like myself. Dan in the chat, speaking some facts, saying that Buggy does have Color of Kings. I'm waiting to see it, but I know it's there. What is
Aaron
your
Mustang
favorite?
has Color of Kings.
Yes, he does. What is your favorite American animated series?
Ooh, that's really tough. If I'm just gonna name some off the top of my head, and then we can talk about them. Because what
Yeah.
comes to mind for American animation, for me in particular, that I like watching South Park. I like Futurama.
Mhm.
I like
which
the
dropped a new season yesterday.
Yeah,
Mhm.
new just came back. I've not watched the new episode yet, but I heard it's hilarious.
Gravity Falls was really good.
Oh, I
Ooh.
love
Story in,
Gravity Falls. The kids
Avatar.
always watch it.
What else in America? I like, you know, contentious point. I like SpongeBob. I think SpongeBob is like we need to stop sleeping on what they did and
They
what they've
have a
been
lot of
doing.
deep state level conspiracies in SpongeBob.
That is
Oh,
true.
and then if we're gonna like actual like oh man, oh I gotta talk about superheroes then, especially like Western animation, and I gotta talk about Young Justice, Teen Titans. Um oh
The
my goodness. I
Injustice
could talk
was
about
great.
Young
Oh,
Justice was one of the best things ever made.
1
But
second.
if you guys want to talk
Miguel.
about any of these,
Yeah, we're going to. 1 second, though. Miguel said cat dog, and I just gotta say, back in row, back in town, cat dog sing with the cat dog sound. Got to get
cat
else, got to sing
dog,
along, got to get sing this song, cat dog,
cat dog,
cat dog,
cat dog.
alone in the
Oh,
world, full of
Boondocks!
cat
I
dog.
love Boondocks. I
Boondocks.
literally,
Yes.
I
Bushido in the
actually,
chat.
did you know?
Sorry, yes. Did I know? Sorry.
Did you know in the Boondocks that in the comics, they have an entirely cut character from the animated series put back in if you have the collection of it. It's
Really?
actually like Huey's friend from Brooklyn. I'm forgetting their name. I'm drawing a blank. I'm sorry, but like their whole stereotype is like it's a character from Brooklyn having to face being an African American in a white societal neighborhood,
Mhm.
dealing with being from Brooklyn, being loud, having that stereotype attached to you, and still
Yeah.
like he checked Huey a couple times, which was amazing. Like nobody checks Huey in the show. Like Huey's normally the enlightened one, but to see like him get put in his place a couple of times was like, yo, this is really good stuff. I love Boondocks a lot, but
Yeah,
if you're gonna consume it, the
watch it.
comics.
Yeah, I've been wanting to rewatch it. Like it's such an iconic series. I always quote Riley when he's talking to Grandpa, and he's like, "You're gonna be crawling in so many women that your middle name's gonna be bitches." And he's like, "You call me a bitch?" And then it's like,
No,
I'm saying your middle name's gonna be bitches. Like,
I always love when whenever I start like meeting a new friend group or a new like social group of people, and they'll be like, "Oh, what's your name?" And I'll be like, "My name is Cody Glass." You know the whole thing, and they're like, "So Cody?" And I said, "No, Cody Glass. You know the whole thing." It's like a moniker, a pimp named Slickback. You call me Cody Glass, alright? Yo, Ben 10 D.
yes,
Dylan
yes.
in the chat. Ben 10 in the chat. Ben 10 Ultimate Alien Omnitrix. When I remember when Ben 10,000 saw little Ben 10 die, and he turned way big and hype.
Dude, Alien X solos most your favorite anime verses, and I hate to say that, y'all.
So, since we're still on like American content, what are some of your most favorite recent comic series that you have read or are into? And I'm gonna start off. One of my most favorite ones was the Immortal Hulk series of 2018.
Great series.
Along with the other 2018 series with the Thor in it, where he actually has that. There's a moment in there where Thor absorbs all the cosmic power from Galactus. He even has a skin inside Fortnite that made it that far from that series.
Ooh, spicy.
I like one of the recent things I've been consuming here is I've been reading Injustice. Some of this has been crazy, and in the new Superman, I just saw that Injustice Superman has met up with John Kent, which is crazy. I got to figure out how to get a hold of that series, the new Young Superman. But some of my favorite comic series that I've read here recently was the DC Metal event Batman Who Laughs was really good.
Yes.
I just got through Flash's Rebirth story and the New 52 Futures End, which was really good.
Is that the one that ends with Wonder Woman meeting her 1950 self? Was that Rebirth or 52?
I think I don't know, because like with how DC does the stories, you don't really get a glimpse into the other character stories unless you read those ones. And I only collect the graphic novels, so I only get Flash issues in my
Yeah.
stuff of just the Flash character because
I
I'm a
really
big
like,
Flash fan.
You like the CW's The Flash and how it intertwines with the Arrow and Punisher?
Yeah,
Yes, he
Bro,
does.
bro,
Yes,
I
he
tell you
does.
what, I'm a CW Flash fan as well.
But when I
I
was before we get too deep into the Flash, because I can see Cody grinning from ear to ear. The reason I was asking about American animation is, like I said, I know you're a huge fan of Adventure Time, like myself. What do you think your favorite song from Adventure Time is?
I've never watched Adventure Time all the way through. I've only seen like clips on YouTube and TikTok.
What? I'm disappointed in you. A little
There
bit.
was a shift in director change, and
It got so much better.
well, there was an animation change as well that really threw me off. Like I was seasons deep, and then they completely just didn't finish an arc. They just dropped it all together, and they ended up muting out of that existence somehow. And that really ended Adventure Time for me. I was like, everything
Not me.
after that was kind of crap.
I watch the hell out of Adventure Time. I watch that shit all the time. Literally, it is on my TV constantly. I love it. It is amazing. Just time is an illusion. It helps things make sense. I get
There's a
into
question here since he's asking about songs. If you had a band in One Piece, what would you call it?
I had a band in One Piece.
Yeah, like in the One Piece world, if you had a band, kind of like Soul King Brook, wow, what would you call it?
We'd
While
call
he's-
it that. We'd call it that. Den Den Kush, and we'd be a
Den-
rap artist.
Din Din Kush in the house, Mugiwara no, Lucas, you can call me Straw Hat when I get you in the back with that arrow not snatch. I don't know what that was, guys. I have to throw out Cube of the Red Sea said Jackie Chan Adventures. And one more thing, like just such
I
a
love
solid
Jackie Chan
series.
Adventures. I loved when I always loved when the little girl in that series got to go off and do her own thing because I was young when I watched that. I was a really
Yeah.
little kid. So
Yeah.
I remember just like seeing a child being able to like rise up to the adults and prove that they were worth like the attention that they wanted. I was like, yo, I resonate with you. But I didn't actually say that as a child. I was probably just like, yo, she's pretty cool.
Yeah, right. I gotta shout out Dastard real quick because he said not only Glop
Static Shock, yo!
Yo, Static Shock! That's what I was about to say. Superhero
I actually,
Static
low-key,
Shock.
I love Batman Beyond, and Batman Beyond is my favorite Batman, and I actually just got the first issue of the graphic novels of his DC Rebirth series, and it's so good. Like, Batman Beyond is so good. If you guys have not watched Batman Beyond,
Yes,
it's available to watch. Go watch it. It's some of the best that's ever done. Kevin Conroy voices Bruce. It's so... Terry's one-liners, like it just matches. Everything just lines up so well. Batman Beyond is one of my favorite. He's my favorite Batman.
Yeah, I've always wanted to see Batman Beyond live action film with Michael Keaton playing old man Bruce Wayne. Man, that would be so good.
I think I just
So good.
love the fact that he was a reveal that he was like
A clone.
a better, a
Yeah,
more
a better
version
of
clone,
Bruce. Yeah, they
without the darkness.
without the darkness. And the whole
Tom
parents are
Holland
dead.
as Terry.
Tom Holland as Terry. Let's
I don't
go.
know if I can support the Tom Holland bandwagon.
Get out.
I don't want another Robert Pattinson, and I mean Terry's young. He's
I
charismatic.
love that movie, dude. He did great.
I thought he did great
That was
too.
like one of the first
he did.
DC
He
movies.
did. Yes,
It's one of the first
he
DC
did
movies
great.
in years that has actually told the way a comic book story would be told.
But if I'm gonna keep the continuity and keep that universe separate and have Batman Beyond be a whole separate character, it can't be Robert Pattinson because I want him to come back.
That's true.
I want
That's
Phoenix versus him, bro. Like, why not?
Yeah, I loved actually just because we're on that subject real quick. Paul Dano is one of my favorite actors. He's such an underrated actor, and him as my favorite Rogues Gallery member, the Riddler. Woo! Oh,
It was pretty
could
fire.
not get enough of that. It was so insane. But let's get back to some One Piece questions and some general anime questions. What is your hottest anime hot take? If you say Griffith did nothing wrong, I will end this stream right now.
Oh, anime hot take. Holy smokes, I don't know. It's okay to enjoy something. You don't have to constantly compare everything to everything because it's just going to end up making you waste your time and energy in a negative way. And I think it's just okay to like stuff.
Thank you. Thank you. I've been defending FLCL for the past 2 days on Facebook against this one dude. Because he's like, it's mid. It's only 6 episodes long. It's mid. And I'm like, dude,
Who
shut
cares
up.
if it's mid? I like it. Like,
I
shut
love
the
it.
fuck. Okay,
Crownless
it's
King said
mid.
bad take.
Congrats. Like,
Yeah, congrats. You didn't enjoy it, but I'm sorry. The Pillows killed that
I
soundtrack.
know. There was a 6-episode series that had more going on than most of these one-season animes that never take off to season 2. Like,
Let's go. Oh goodness. So what's a manga you've been reading currently that has just blown your mind? This is a
Jujutsu
setup.
Kaisen.
I knew it was coming.
There's,
Yes.
oh god, I could go off right now. Don't.
Don't. He said don't because he knows I haven't read it and I'm about to start it. I just started Dan to Dan, or Dawn to Dawn because our good man Dan told me to, and I was blown away by it. So I'm very excited to start Jujutsu Kaisen. Like very, very, very excited to start it. With how much hype you guys have said around it, like oh.
I've read through Jujutsu Kaisen now 3 times. I have gone back and reread it, and I just keep being more and more blown away by like the little setups, the little nods to other characters, the little like facial expression, and then when you watch the anime and you see how much Mappa loves it, and they keep all of these like traditional things to it, and the goofiness. It's literally I've never seen anything like this happening before with anime and manga. Like Chainsaw Man, while the anime was very good, I really missed a lot of what Tatsuki Fujimoto put into his story using his like master crafted paneling. Like reading Chainsaw Man, I feel like was a lot more grabbing to me than just watching it.
Yeah, see, I feel the same way. When I was trying to watch the anime for Chainsaw Man, I could not get into it, man. I kept getting taken out. Mappa did amazing. The animation's top tier, but I just could not get into it.
I'm just glad it's not like that new base version of the CGI animation that they've been doing, because there's a lot of like.
Oh god, the Trigun remake.
Yeah, the Trigun and several others.
Another anime that Mappa did, another manga that I've been catching up on is Doro Hedoro. It's like this sci-fi fantasy cyberpunk-esque world. It's really good. They have a whole magic system. It's a really dark and amazing story. I love it.
That's beautiful.
I just Doro Hedoro. It has really good art. And Mappa did the anime for it, and like it's really dark and gritty. If you love the yeah, I love Bishoku Tensei.
What would you say if they announce, like, let's say 10 years from now, right? The One Piece anime has ended, the One Piece manga has ended, and Mappa announces a complete remake of the One Piece anime. Would you watch it?
Yeah, I've reread One Piece like 10 times. I'm good. I'm ready.
Yeah, same, man. I think I'm on my 4th read-through right now.
My question would be here, why would we have to? Why would we want to?
More streamlined. Don't you dare say Berserk 2016. It's actually good, Dylan. All right, Dan, no, man. Let me tell you why Berserk 2016 isn't good. Because it's not. That's it. One Piece Kai. Oh, my God. 2-piece.
3-piece chicken.
3-piece chicken. Oh, my goodness. So what's up with all the domain expansion memes, then?
What's with all the domain expansions?
Yeah.
It's just like funny.
I know, I'm just messing with you. Because for those who are unaware, in the Cody 10 group chat, Cody for the past week has been flooding us with domain expansions. It'll be the help me scene from Arlong Park, and she'll be like, Luffy, help me, and he's just like, domain expansion.
All right, yeah, hold up. Like, it's really cool. Like, all right, I got this random Naruto manga here. Let's see if I can find something really funny to use it with. Oh, yeah, that's perfect, actually. So freaking third Hokage and Orochimaru start fighting, and then we see the third Hokage says, "Oh no, let's do it." And you see this Reaper is saying things, and he's talking in a special tongue. He's actually saying, "Hello there, it's me saying domain expansion."
Hello there, it's me saying domain expansion. That's beautiful.
Yeah, that's how he takes Orochimaru's arms. It's his cursed
All right,
energy.
we're getting into the last like 30 minutes of the interview, so let's talk One Piece D&D.
All right.
All right, how has it been coming back to DM after 10 years hiatus?
Nervous. I had to set up a second monitor so that I can make sure you guys aren't constantly getting dipped. I didn't make a scene so that everyone didn't have to see my behind the scenes playing around. It was very nerve-wracking, but now that I've got a better handle on it, it's always the first session that's the worst. I'm really excited for more and really excited to see what you guys have in store for me.
So far in our campaign, and if, for those who don't know, like I said earlier, we stream on Cody's Twitch, which is twitch.tv/SSJ8Cody. You can find us Thursday nights. I think we play from about 7 to 10 p.m. every Thursday. We had our first session last week, and there was a really big standout character from that session. Can you tell us more about the one, the only, Glop, who gives ladies his schlup?
I don't want to like reveal.
No, don't spoil
too
anything,
much.
please. Yeah, but
Yeah, the crew had found their way into a goblin night rave that was just really sweaty and loud, and it was constantly playing "Cake by the Ocean" by Joe Jonas and his band Dance, and so everyone was like just doing their own thing, and our captain of the crew went off to go find what he perceived to be the strongest goblin in that club, who was all by his lonesome, and they had decided to try to make a goblin friend, and in doing so they agreed to turn the whole kingdom into goblins. I don't know if they remembered that they did it, because when Glop went to go tell them about it, they went to go kill Glop. So Glop's a very happy boy.
Glop is my man. I will protect him with my life. I hope if he ever dies, I get an ace moment with him where I'm hugging him and he's like, "Thank you for loving me." And I'm like, ah!
Regardless how you feel, maybe how it went down, I'm gonna tell you right now, everything that I saw was fire. The engagement was great, and I'm excited to see more.
So I
I feel
am
really bad not being able to read chats. I finally know how Rustage feels when he's running D&D.
There are some tools if you would like to pin your chats or your pop-out window so that no matter what you do, it's always on top.
and this is why Fritz is our cyborg shipwright. Like that's
There are
knows
some
what to
great
do.
tools out there. Like even if you're limited with monitors and worried about not being able to see something, you can. There are pins that you can do for your program that keep always on top windows for you.
I gotta do another cyborg.
No, I'm just saying
This
in
is
the
how
last arc, he is our cyborg shipwright.
Oh,
You're
I
"God
was like,
damn it,
this
none
is
of
how
you-"
you're springing his character on me live
No,
on
we have not
stream?
decided. We have not decided.
I've not
Oh.
decided. I'm not sure if I'm 100% available, and then I
I
don't
was
want to
like,
give
yo,
hopes
do you know
up,
what it
but
took
I
for
am.
me and Dan to decide on milk? Like, oh.
Dan is asking now if we will be seeing Fritz there. He's still trying to figure out if he'll be able to be available on those days. So we will let everyone know shortly. But yeah, man, tell us about your history with D&D. Like, what got you into the game, man?
I had a very tight-knit group of friends in 7th grade, and we all played League of Legends.
Gay, but yes, continue. I'm
And
joking. That was terrible. I'm sorry.
We're going to cancel
it-
Straw Hat Lucas for this one.
No. It's my biggest fear.
So after playing League, I would hear that they would always meet up IRL or online with our friend in California to play D&D. And I was like, what is that? Why am I not invited? Why are you guys leaving League? We have to get to Diamond. Come on. And so they invited me on as like for a one shot to just go through this random dungeon, and I fell in love with the way that our DM was telling the story, because it was one of our friends who we never got to see often, and just him in this different light and being able to play all these different characters. He was also wanting to be a voice actor, which just like added to it. Like, it was a really fun time, and so we just kept meeting up, and we did eventually a longer campaign setting which was the invention of Aaron Sexbang and my
Ooh,
love
yeah.
of my life. Oh, I'll miss you.
Is he gonna make a cameo in Group 10?
Aaron Sexbang? Man, I don't know. Maybe
Yeah, I
Danny
don't know.
might, but like that's Aaron's in a world and he is deified right now because we on our adventures got to wish 3 times and we reset our levels once with a wish
Mm.
because we wanted to just like experience the world. I'll never forget the session. I was a fucking level 19 rogue with 1 level in bard and we got to the end of this dungeon miraculously with 2 of us alive and we're looking at each other panting like a Naruto Sasuke moment, bleeding. And then we're like, DM's like, all right, you are allowed 1 wish from this entity. What do you want to do with it? And my character looked up and said, let's do it again. And he's like, what? And I said, I want to reset everything back to level 1 and like Big Bang this bitch. And
Oh
he did.
God.
That's
So
wild.
we ended that session that night, and then we came back, and he had all level 1 sheets for us, and only my character and my friend got to live. Our friends were still deaded and got their character sheets torn. But hey,
Oh
man,
God.
Aaron Sexbang lived through 2 world resets. Let's go. Like,
I-
who knows?
I've noticed you use the Sexbang moniker a lot, so I'm assuming that you're a huge fan of Ninja Sex Party.
I am. I love Game Grumps. Was a
So,
big fan of
uh,
Game Grumps and Danny. I love NSP. I actually have all 3 of his albums bought, and I have Attitude City signed by Danny and Brian.
that's amazing. I love Ninja Brian. So, like, his Mayo Jar of Doom is one of my favorite bits he's ever done. Um, what's your favorite Ninja Sex Party song then?
6969. I think it's the best power ballad of our century, actually. I
Really?
think it's one of the funniest
Not
and like
not Danny, Don't You Know? Because I would say
Danny
that's
Don't You
the
Know
best.
is really good, but I wish that would have came out when I was in high school so I could have gotten the message when I needed it most. So,
That's true.
I'm
Yeah,
a
because
little
that came
bitter.
out in what, like 2018? Like I was in my mid 20s
Yeah, I
when
was
it came out.
Yeah, so I was already like, cool, I'm an adult. I needed this when I was in high school trying to find
Yeah.
myself. And it's like just like unjustifiably bitter. I don't give a fuck.
I still think my favorite will always be 3 Minutes of Ecstasy, just because that music video is iconic, and him being like, "I need to go to the pudding store to buy pudding." Like,
I just have so many night drives of like me and my vehicle just driving down the road, listening to 6969 and having that freaking in the background while I'm like just going 70 an hour. There's something about it, man.
yeah, just get you hyped. I get it, man. I do. So back to One Piece D&D though. How's it felt being able to actually play One Piece D&D? I know you said that it was a big dream of yours to run a campaign like this for a long time.
It's overwhelming. It's a
Mm.
lot because I want to try to keep it as One Piece themed as I can, and then I also like want to inject as much comedy and myself into it as I can because it's at its core it's D&D to me.
Yes.
Like whatever we do in there, you guys are One Piece raced, and you guys are on an island right now, and this island has its own kingdom and stuff in the South Blue. There are pirates doing things. There's all sorts of things you guys might not know happening in the background, and I'm excited. And I'm also like scared that I might spoil something or talk too much about it or like but it is overwhelming and very fun. I'm very excited to see what happens.
As
This is also why we have mad respect for you and all of our DMs that are in the channel on the Discord. We just want to thank everybody as well at the same
yes,
time.
yeah,
You
yeah.
guys really have put in a lot of work, and we just want to make sure we thank everybody on that note.
Yes, yeah.
Like,
Every
I-
DM part of the last arc, we humbly give you our thanks. Yes, shout out to you, Vex. You've been killing it as well, man. But yes, Cody, go
Yeah,
on.
Vex is the GOAT. I love watching Group 2. And shout out to Sam. Sam 1. We miss
Same
you.
one.
Love
We
you,
miss you, buddy.
Sam.
We'll see you soon.
But like a little peek behind the curtain is I have like a list of characters with what I do. And then
Oh,
what I
God.
like to what I'll do is I'll just I'll make a table of like 1 to 10 or 1 to 20 or something, and I'll just roll dice to see what they do because I don't want to be held liable for what they do, and I don't want I want it to be out of my they're living like let's see
I
what
think
they do.
I think it'd be scarier if we had the peak and it was a blank sheet and like it would be terrifying.
Yeah, that would be terrible. I will say
Well,
though,
they're characters with ambitions. They literally, I just like what'll happen is like normally if I'm just out and about or doing something, I'll have an idea pop into my head and I'll be like, oh, dude, Steve was literally just like, oh man, it'd be funny to have a man named Steve who's a clown who like tells shitty jokes, but he knows he's a shitty clown, so he's just.
dude, Steve was a whole vibe. For those in the audience who don't know, part of our session 0, which was not streamed, we killed a clown man named Steve, who was the jester of the kingdom that we are currently in. He had the hat fruit potentially because he made unlimited hats, and then you squeezed his nose and they all went back onto his head.
Yep.
Listen, DQ, you were the only one not on board with killing Steve. Okay,
I think you guys will have mad regrets about this one too.
Possibly. He said, nah, man, you guys did it. That is true. I was about to kill him if Ajax did not. So.
Well, Steve has a brother, and I wonder what his
no.
brother's name is.
Oh, you guys are getting a freaking redemption story. All right, you guys are gonna be avenged, bro.
If you guys watch One Piece D&D, you'll know what his brother's name is.
It's Weave. Don't let him lie.
Nope.
Steve and
No,
Weave.
Rustage's One Piece D&D has a character that I've referenced Steve after, and his brother is a character from there that now I'm gonna have to pull in because I'm gonna murk you. I mean, what?
Oh. Where's
Like
Glenn?
I'm not gonna murk you.
Mad regrets.
I mean, to be fair though, our captain did almost die that first round. That's session 0, and so did Sam 1. Sam 1.
I like how you guys were like, "Oh, what's the challenge rating? What are these guys' health?" And I was like, "Yeah, they exist. You're doing
Like a
something to them."
Oh, goodness. All right, so we're getting towards the end of the interview now, Cody. I have one very big question for you.
Yeah.
What is your dream?
My dream? I just want to be able to share my passions with the world and make people passionate about the same things that I'm passionate about. I want to be able to share in the hype and be able to like make it grow as much as it can. I want to be the hype man. I want to, when Vegeta says I am the hype, that is me.
Was that a Dragon Ball Z abridged reference?
I am the hype.
I am the hype.
Do you really believe in your own hype that much? I am the hype.
Yeah.
It's not much, but it's honest work.
This is a strange feeling. Pride in someone else. Too bad it's covered by all this unbridled rage. Oh, goodness. Well, I think you have a beautiful dream, my man. And if I'm being honest, you are on the track to share that hype with everyone. The first time you came across my TikTok feed, I was like, who the hell is this guy? I was hooked immediately, and now we've become actual friends. I get to play D&D with you every week.
I get to listen to the Rage in Overwatch.
Yeah, he gets to listen to the Rage in Overwatch. Which, how has that been going, by the way? Just because I'm trying to kill a little bit more time before we end it. How is the Overwatch with Fritz the Ditz going?
I hate Overwatch.
It's a love
Blizzard,
hate.
you know what? If Blizzard somehow sees this, hey Blizzard, what's up with me winning 10 games in a row and not moving up or down? Can you at least let me know if I'm doing worse or better? Because there's no way that I do something for 10 games and I'm not getting like a thing. Make it 3, make it lower, do something. I need to know if I'm doing okay or not. Because obviously from the way I'm talking about your game, I'm not doing okay. I'm not. So just like get rid of the 10 game thing in comp. Just make it 3. 3 is okay. You
want to move places, you just need to get Soldier and do more healing than any of the healers.
I'm a tank main. Look at that. I got a problem.
All right, beautiful. Well, Cody, I really appreciate you doing this with us today. This is the second News Coup interview. It was an honor having you as a guest. Will you please promo yourself before we end the stream?
Absolutely. I'm SSJ8Cody. Neon Genesis Evangelion is my favorite anime of all time. You can find more hot takes like that on my TikTok at TikTok/SSJ8Cody. And be sure to catch Group 10 when we play One Piece D&D Thursdays, starting at 7 Eastern Time at the twitch.tv SSJ8Cody.
There we
Beautiful,
go.
beautiful, beautiful. And once again, for the last arc, we are Fritz the Ditz and Straw Hat Lucas. You can find me on TikTok at straw_hat_Lucas. You can find Fritz at
Fritz the Ditz live on
Yeah.
Twitch.
yes, twitch.tv/Fritz the
Or
Ditz Live.
Fritz the Ditz on YouTube as well. I have
Ooh.
small shorts that I've
And
been
he
doing.
does, and they are amazing, very existential stuff. So we will see you guys on the next News Coup interview, which I believe is either Dindin Cushy or Grand Line Bound himself, Captain Smokey. So we will see you guys again next time.
I want to thank you all in chat. You all
Yes,
have a
thank
good
you all, chat. You are amazing.